So there's more gasoline on the infidelity fire, and the friendship tables are starting to turn.
And she's telling me I'm not a good friend, and I feel like she's not being a good friend.
Let's recap episode 6 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. This week, we pick up where we left off with Heather and Gina's convo about Travis not being her therapist. Gina is crying some real tears here. She's fully defending her wanting to reach out to Travis and says it's a testament to him that he can withstand all her baggage. Okay. Clearly, Gina is still struggling with dealing with the end of her marriage and the cheating leading up to it. She's still very much triggered by things as simple as going to a wedding that was in a church, and she got married in a church. I'm wondering why Jenn specifically is bringing all this out in her. Has Gina not heard of any other cheating allegations since her divorce? I'm wondering how much of her reaction is produced by production and how much of it is her real response. Tamara's still talking behind Jenn's back under the guise that she cares about her. I get that as a friend, she may have concern with Jenn's relationship, but aren't Jenn and Ryan 2 years in? It seems like Tamara waited until Jenn was on the show to bring up these concerns and air out Jenn's dirty laundry to strangers. She's telling all these details, like Ryan sleeping with another married woman at her gym, but she's probably never said anything to Jenn about this. What kind of friend is that? It's a whole lot of effort on Tamara's part to keep that orange. It just seems so forced. There's always the pot stirrer or the story pusher in these Real Housewives groups. Kyle and Garcelle do this really well on Beverly Hills in a non-annoying way. So does Sheree in Atlanta. But Tamara is being so obvious with it, and it's just grating on my nerves at this point. I think the cast needed a shakeup for sure after last season, and it made sense for Tamara to come back, but this isn't landing with me yet, and we're 6 episodes in. So they all smoke some weed, and then they decide that they aren't even going to sleep in the tents, so they head back to the villa. Understandable.
No.
Is there no 4 seasons?
Can we just take pictures in them?
Yeah, that's not happening.
Jenn FaceTimes Ryan and tells him that Tamara is the worst part of the trip, and she's tired of her harping on their relationship. She feels like Tamara's trying to secretly, but openly, sabotage her getting to know the women and forging a new friendship with them. Jenn decides to hold off on telling Ryan that Tamara said he wanted to sleep with her until she's face-to-face with him. Probably a good idea. That seems like a face-to-face convo that you'd want to have with someone. The ladies do more Montana stuff. They go fly fishing where Gina falls while standing still.
Are you kidding me?
You got your hat.
Oh, it's all down my pants. I didn't know.
And whitewater rafting where the guide has everything hanging out for all to see. Yada, yada, yada. This was just filler. At dinner on the last night, they decide to do the peak and the pit of the trip. Heather shares that she was feeling a little left out when Tamara was blow-drying Shannon's hair in the bathroom earlier that day. They all think Heather's making a big deal about it because she wasn't actually excluded. Production shows that Heather was hanging out with them and lying on the bed before they went into the bathroom. Oh my God, Shannon overreacts to this and is mad because Heather didn't choose her fight with Taylor as the pit of the trip. It's Heather's choice. Shannon doesn't get to control what Heather considered to be the worst part of being there. At least Heather was upfront and said it was a her issue and not a them issue or Tamara and Shannon issue, and it made her feel a certain way. Shannon's voice is fully quivering here because she feels like Heather is raining on her Tamara makeup parade. They totally didn't get that Heather was saying that situation was the low point of the trip because it reminded her of the last time her friendship with Tamara was on the rocks. That's when she started to form a stronger bond with Shannon. So she had a minor moment where she was brought back to that place. It doesn't mean that she's unhappy Tamara and Shannon are friends again. She was just being honest about her feelings. Come on. I don't think Jenn was truthful about her pit. She seems like a non-confrontational person, and I don't think she's a match to go up against Tamara with, honestly. Tamara thrives on conflict. So you know it would be another explosive conversation if Jenn said that her pit was when Tamara brought up her relationship with Ryan. Later on, Tamara and Eddie talk. I believe that Eddie definitely didn't know Ryan made that comment about Tamara. He says he was told that Ryan goes after married women and he should keep an eye on his wife. It's not to say that Tamara doesn't have a reason to be concerned about Ryan cheating repeatedly on Jenn, because he already has, even though she says that they were on a break. But the calm way that Eddie talks about the same situation and has the same sentiment as Tamara, but is calmer, it's just a little bit more digestible. Tamara sensationalizes it, even though I know it's for TV, but it's just too much. Emily is stage momming it up. Annabelle is very confident. And that's it for Emily content this episode. Jenn tells Ryan what Tamara said. He's trying to figure out if they were joking, but he didn't deny actually saying it. He asked Jenn if she tells Tamara that it wasn't true, but Jenn wasn't even there when Tamara heard the comment or was told about the comment. Jenn said she's biting her tongue and trying to salvage the friendship between them, Tamara and Eddie. Interesting. Ryan didn't deny that he said it. Gina talks to Travis about how things went down in Montana and how she didn't appreciate what Heather said about burdening him. Travis doesn't seem to have a problem with it and says he understands where she's coming from. Although he says it's hard to hear about her ex, he would rather she talk to him about it than not, because he's her person. That's really sweet. He seems really loving, and I think this is showing that he and Gina are on solid terms. They get each other, and I think Gina knows that she wasn't overburdening Travis with the infidelity conversations. Now, Gina actually feels Heather isn't being a good friend by not getting to know the real her, but is instead calling out Gina for their, quote, one-sided friendship. Okay, that is it for this week's episode. Really, all they did was serve up some suspense for Tamara's possible fallout with Heather and Jenn. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.